Hello, and welcome to No Such Thing as a Bad Movie podcast. I'm April Atmansky, and I'm here today with...
Justin McClue.
And Colin Cunningham.
And it's...
I'm mustachioed.
A mustachioed Colin Cunningham?
Yeah.
I was trying to grow a mustache over the last 2 weeks, unrelated to the film we're talking about today.
Really?
And I decided, I don't think I can do it.
I thought you were going full beard.
Yeah, I was trying, and it just looked like a big Santa Claus beard. So I'll wait till next September to start growing out for Christmas time.
Yeah,
I've tried.
I have never seen you with a mustache, Justin.
I've tried doing those like
can't.
Movember things. It just does not work.
I just have that teen stash where it's kind of like bald in the middle. And
Yeah, I've got a very
it doesn't connect properly, even though it looks like it's about to start because there's hairs growing on the sides.
Yeah, I would always like... You could only see mine if you kind of like catch it in the light at the right angle.
Because it's so blonde?
It's just weird. It just every hair is like a different color, and they're very.
And when I
weirdly-
shaved it, I shaved my beard into George Lucas, and I was like, "Hey, Emily, what do you think of this?" She's like, "No, absolutely not." She reacted like Gwyneth Paltrow to Mordecai's mustache in this.
You're like, oh,
you guys
I don't know what you're talking about, Emily.
Well, women color in their eyebrows so they don't look patchy or too light.
What?
Do guys do that with beards?
No,
I would have like just all.
Colin would have like the blackest beard in the world if he like dyed his beard.
It would just all be shoe polish.
Or you just use a little bit of
burnt
eyebrow
charcoal.
pencil.
My beard used to grow red.
Oh, really?
A long time ago, yeah. Now it's just white from all the stress I have to deal from you guys all the time.
You went great from watching all these bad movies, right?
I would always do that
that's
for
right.
Halloween. I'd burn like a wine cork and then you'd rub it on your face. And
You're like a homeless person in the 20s.
Okay, Mortdecai.
Or like a sleuth from like the 1920s.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
Right.
Oh, no. Colin's putting his wine cork makeup on again. Oy.
Watson, bring me my disguise kit.
I'm going to hang out with the... word deleted.
So Mortdecai. Colin, why did you pick this movie?
I don't know. It was on my list. I keep a list on my iPad of movies we should do for the podcast. Mm-hmm. I kind of add to it from time to time. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at one. I actually picked another one, and I was like, you know what? We should just do Mortdecai. I've never seen it
I just
before.
want to laugh. I want to watch Mortdecai.
And laugh we did. So this has nothing to do with a good friend of ours and Justin's podcast co-host, Will Sloan.
Mm-hmm. It has everything to do with it.
He has a history of reposting this Mortdecai meme. He's been doing it probably since the movie came out, which is, it's not even a meme. It's like a promotional still that says that face you make when tomorrow's Monday, I believe.
That's it.
And
there's no deeper meaning other than it's funny that this exists. Mm-hmm. That's the joke.
Yeah, it's like so anyway, I follow him on Twitter, and I had to unfollow him like 10 times because he wouldn't stop posting that meme. Recently he has stopped, so I'm back. But
no, he's going to be back,
Will,
especially after I tweeted about it today.
If you post it again, I'm going to unfollow you.
He replied to your tweet. Oh, God.
Here's the thing is that, like, it's a certain part of the internet who, like, they take a joke and they drive it into the ground.
Yeah.
And the joke is that they keep doing the joke that long.
Exactly.
That's what it is. And, like,
it's
Will,
not funny.
when he started doing that, had not seen Mortdecai.
No, I had a feeling.
You don't have to see Mortdecai.
Has he seen Mortdecai?
Okay, so they... famously, them and their pals went to go see Mortdecai, and they went to go see it on the day they like canceled the screening when they showed up to go see it.
Oh no, you can't.
Why?
No, they like showed up and they were like, "We'd like one for Mortdecai, please." And they're like, "Sorry, this was the last show. It's done. We're not doing it." Yeah. And then the Royal organized a Mortdecai screening that they hosted.
That's
wow.
funny.
So
And I went to that, and I was like, "Ugh, this movie's bad."
You're just laughing your head off.
So they never saw it before the
No, I don't
Royal
believe
screening.
so. Unless they went to
Wow.
a different movie theater, but I don't think they did.
That's funny.
So basically, it became a joke
Yes.
among a group of
It's just-
certain
Yes.
group of
It's
friends.
just a shitpost joke.
Well,
Like, why not Transcendence? Like, can you imagine if they just like wrote Transcendence into the ground, the previous Johnny Depp film?
yeah,
to this
if you
one?
want to fall asleep.
I feel like that's just too boring, but just
you need the mustache. That's the
just
joke.
the
Yes.
image of him with the mustache is just so idiotic. And I
Hilarious, you
think the
mean.
promotional poster had like all of the characters wearing the mustache.
Yes,
We've
they
reached
did.
a level of irony, though, here with this Mortdecai memeology.
It's flipped all
no
around.
irony involves. Any irony involved now is for anyone who even still remembers this movie. It is like 7 years old at this point. Honestly,
Wait, I have Bane jokes to make. Remember all the Bane jokes people were making online?
No, exactly. Yes. No, but people are still Bane jokes are still funny, but no one's making Mortdecai jokes.
Take that back.
But if you made a Bane reference, people would
still
would
say
know
I
what
was
you're
born
talking
in
about.
it. I was born in it. Is
God,
still
I wouldn't
a
even
thing.
recognize that as a Bane joke.
If you made a Mortdecai,
It's
if
just
you
so
made a
far
Mortdecai
removed.
joke, you would just get blank stares.
Well, there is no Mortdecai joke.
But
to
there
make.
is
Mordecai joke is the pet rock, and the pet rock is back. So maybe Mordecai will be back.
We went to a bar in Toronto called Bar Mordecai once.
I was just looking at that today. Someone
Yeah.
sent it to us. It's a very nice looking bar.
It is
Isn't
nice
it based
inside.
on the David Kep Johnny Depp film?
I don't think
You
so.
know what? Did we ask them that when we went there?
I don't think so.
Like
We
someone
only-
asks every day.
we only went
No.
once, and it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But it was when it first opened.
It was right before COVID.
So it opened
Yeah.
after Mordecai came out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
way
yeah,
after.
yeah.
So I think it
Ew,
has. I don't
inspired
know.
by the aesthetics of Wes Anderson films.
Yeah,
I'm reading
that's
the-
what it says on the website.
So this is
Yeah.
kind of this friggin' movie kind of is.
this movie's a little Wes
Horribly.
Anderson-y.
It thinks it is. It thinks it's
So-
witty.
I was gonna come in and be like, "Oh man, David Kep, underrated screenwriter, love him."
is.
And then I looked at his filmography and I was like,
Dude,
maybe
he's
I'll
done-
have to take that back."
You're wrong. He's done lots of good movies.
This guy's
yes,
written.
of course he has.
Stir of Echoes is a
Secret
legit
Window,
great, Secret
Lost
Window, no.
World, Jurassic Park, The Shadow, The Paper.
Jurassic Park,
He wrote
Spider-Man.
Dark Angel
Direct.
under the name
on.
Leonard Moss Jr.
He wrote the original Spider-Man, War of the
He
Worlds,
did.
Spielberg's Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
directed-
Zasura, A Space Adventure. That's a fun one.
Yeah,
He's
this
the
guy-
man behind all those Dan Brown adaptations, Angels and Demons.
Okay, well, Stir of
Inferno,
Echoes maybe is the only good movie.
Jack
he's directed.
Ryan, Shadow Recruit, The
Premium
Mummy.
Rush. Premium Rush.
Panic Room, David Fincher.
So I listened to the commentary of Panic Room on the Criterion. Is it a Criterion edition? Maybe not.
I think it is.
It's David Kep and William. I want to say Gibson. It is not William Gibson.
No.
The screenwriter, the famous screenwriter whose first name is Goldman.
Okay.
And David Kep's like, oh, you write a script with no dialogue, right? You write it all through just like visual information, and then you get the story out. And William Goldman's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No. Which just made
not
me,
at all.
I would love to see the like no dialogue, all visual version of Mordecai.
Mordecai. Well, there is a lot of action.
To
in
be
this.
fair, he did not write this screenplay.
No, he did not. That's true. He did
and-
write Ghost Town too, though, the Ricky Gervais film he
Oh
directed.
God, never saw it. Shocking to me is that this movie is based on a series of books.
Is
What do you
it a
mean
popular
shocking?
series of books?
I've never heard of
Yes.
them. Never heard
No,
of them.
I have. I just looked them up today, but no, it's not like that popular. But I was like, this has to be based on something, and it's. I thought I was like, oh, it's like a Man from U.N.C.L.E. type thing. This was like a '60s TV show or something. No, it was a series of
1970s books.
of witty satire mystery novels.
What is Mordecai's deal? Like, he doesn't do anything. He sucks.
I
He
don't
fucking
know.
sucks.
He's a flamboyant dandy.
He's like
and
an
he
art
has
dealer.
a sharp wit.
He does not have a sharp wit.
By the way, guys, I liked this movie. I'm sorry.
You're insane.
I really did.
I was expecting to hate it more, but I didn't.
We watched it last night,
it's just
with dinner.
boring.
We watched it twice. for this
Like,
goddamn
were you
podcast.
like dying every time Paul Bettany like had sex with a new mom or something like that?
No.
I like how Colin was like, no, and then April was like, ha, this is the funniest joke I heard all year.
That joke made me laugh a lot, and I'm not even joking. I really did. So there's some jokes. There's a lot of jokes that fall flat. There's a lot of bad things about this movie, but overall,
Do you find Johnny Depp charming in this film, April?
I actually did. I'm
You
sorry.
are
I
insane.
do not. I do not.
Wait, and April was anti Hudson Hawk,
he was
right?
funny.
I
I was, yeah.
This movie gave me severe Hudson Hawk vibes.
Yeah, but bad Hudson
Yeah,
Hawk
it's
vibes.
it's
Yeah.
just I'll say it's very, very long. It's like an hour and 46 minutes.
There's 10 minutes of credits. I clocked it when the credits started.
Okay.
Do they rap over it? I don't know. I hit the stop button faster than I ever have in my life.
I was joking with April. I said it ended with Mordecai will return.
I think I like this better than Hudson Hawk, but you guys grew up with Hudson Hawk, so you have
No, I
nostalgia.
didn't. I saw it in high school.
That counts as growing up with it.
college. I saw it.
Yeah.
You have still have nostalgia for it.
It's kind of like it's Hudson Hawk meets Wes Anderson
meets Austin Powers.
Yeah, but
it's Austin Powers light.
Johnny's.
I would watch Austin Powers 100 more times.
I agree. That's a better.
Yeah,
I'm
for
just
sure.
saying this wasn't that bad.
I didn't hate it, but I
didn't hate it either. I think that I wish I could have hated it. It would have probably been more fun that way.
Yeah, but I felt so guilty laughing last night. We laughed a number of times at various things. I can't remember what.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I wish I could have been in the room with you.
I was just like,
stone
where he
face.
goes like this, who makes this.
I laughed
breast squeezy.
once. I will highlight it because it's my favorite thing of the movie.
Okay, so yeah, I laughed, and it was just immediately afterwards, just like, oh, God help me, I laughed at Mortdecai.
We laughed at things that were supposed to be funny, and
Yeah.
a lot of times we just laughed at how stupid it was because that's part of the fun.
But I'm just like,
and
how
it
did
knows it's stupid.
how did this come together? How did they
Yeah,
con?
I would love to be like in
money?
the exec meetings where they're pitching it. I mean, it's 100% resting on the popularity of Johnny Depp.
Yeah, and it's like,
Well-
how did
Yeah.
they con all these pretty good actors into being
Well,
in this movie?
Let's be honest. Gwyneth Paltrow does not remember being in Mortdecai. there is no way.
She thought she was in the Avengers or something.
We always talk about how much we love vanity pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a feeling Johnny Depp, was spearheaded this
I
movie.
do believe Johnny Depp wanted to make this movie for ages, didn't he?
It seems like something that, like Dark Shadows
know
or
for
something
sure.
that he was a fan
Yes.
of, and he's like,
Yes.
hey man,
I think
we
that's
should
what
make
it was.
this
Yeah,
into a movie.
and self-indulgent is the phrase of the day
Holy
for
shit.
this movie.
His performance.
It has that Johnny Depp performance that he does in every movie, but it's slightly different. But I wasn't annoyed by him in this, where I wasn't like
You
Willy
are
Wonka.
insane.
I thought he was kind of funny.
I wish he would start like breakdancing like the Mad Hatter from the Alice in Wonderland film.
Didn't like that. And
Dancing
I mean,
like the Goobly
this is
Gop or whatever he
just
did.
this is basically just Jack Sparrow with less makeup and a little more foppishness. More foppishness. I mean, he's already a little foppish as Jack Sparrow.
he is doing the Jack Sparrow run at one point.
Does he run like that, Jack Sparrow?
He's doing like the kind of dainty Jack Sparrow run with his
That's
hands.
how Johnny Depp runs.
Yeah.
I will say, watching this movie, I was like, I can't believe me and most of the world ever thought that Johnny Depp was attractive because he looks so bad in this movie. And they made a gap in his teeth, I guess, too, and it's the mustache. And
Yeah, I mean, he was attractive in movies like, I guess, Cry Baby.
Yeah, he's got the hair,
And what are the big, when he's doing that Charlie Chaplin shtick, you're like, I love it.
Oh,
Harry and June or whatever.
yeah,
Benny and June.
Benny and June.
Benny and
well, I mean,
What about that one with Marlon Brando where he's like,
Oh, that's the one where he's about to appear in a snuff film. That's the one he directed.
no. I'm talking
Johnny
about the
Brasco?
romance movie.
oh, I don't know.
You're talking
He's
about.
been in
I don't know.
tons of movies as a heartthrob.
It's like fucking Don Juan or something or blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's Don Juan. That's what it's called. Yep.
Well, when
like
this-
Don Juan DeMarco.
when Pirates of the Caribbean came out in high school, girls I know that loved Johnny Depp in that. They were attracted.
They were just jacking off in the
They
theater.
were attracted
couldn't help
to Jack
themselves.
Sparrow. Like, I'm not making that up. That's a real thing. So,
So we're like guys in your high school, like looking like Jack
God,
Sparrow.
I wish. I mean, I was more of an Orlando Bloom fan at that time, even though he's a terrible actor.
Yeah.
Who is his kid? Jack something? Sorry, not Jack. Will Turner.
Will Turner, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, so Johnny Depp has like two modes. He has like crazy mode and like a little more normal mode, but he doesn't do like normal movies anymore.
No.
Like Black Mass maybe, but I mean, he was wearing like prosthetics.
There's a
and that.
story of like he cameoed in 21 Jump Street and he was like obsessed with having like a ukulele. And Phil Lord and Chris Miller were like, oh, we'll send a PA to get out one. And they like turn to the PA. They're like, you do not come back with a ukulele. Get every ukulele within 100 meters like out of here so Johnny Depp can't see it.
That wouldn't work with that scene at all.
There's
I don't know
just
why.
nothing he loves more now than just like wacky props, wacky costumes, wacky makeup, and just
Wacky performances.
Wacky performances. And this movie is
This
like
might be the last good one, and everyone would say this is where everyone was like, this might be. I think everyone's saying that this one is too far. This pushed it too far.
I really hope these comments are filled with like, I agree with April. Mortdecai is a great movie.
I don't think anyone listening has even seen Mortdecai. That's the thing. I don't think anyone saw this.
People listening to this are like, Justin and Colin are big grumps. I'm sure April's right.
I'll take her word for it and maybe watch it.
yeah, check it out.
No!
Maybe check it out.
Don't!
All All right, so let's go to the opening scene, which is a flagrant Temple of Doom ripoff.
Yeah,
I said that right away.
Yeah, and it's like Temple of Doom, but shot horribly. It looks so flat and cheap.
I won't like the way this movie looks. It has this kind of misty cinematography, and it's often not shot very interestingly.
Yeah, but it's got this like swinging 60s guitar.
Yeah.
Guitar music.
It sounds, every scene
just
has
let you know
that.
you're having fun.
Yeah, it's like the soundtrack that,
Austin Powers.
the Avengers would have.
Yeah, or
like
the original
60s Avengers.
yeah.
Or like that kind of,
not the Marvel Avengers.
No.
The classic Sean
The good
Connery.
The one that we
the good one. Sean Connery and who's the other person?
Uma Thurman.
Ray Fiennes.
Did we watch that for this podcast?
Yes, we reviewed that a long.
There's
Oh
no
my
way I
God.
would have watched that movie if it wasn't for the podcast.
I don't remember anything that happens in it.
We did that and Zardos in an episode, I think, as a
Right.
tribute to Sean Connery.
Oh, the double Connery.
Oh, we didn't do Mr. Billy or whatever it's called, Sean Connery's final role.
I don't even know
is
what
it
that is.
That was the animated movie, wasn't it?
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah. Where like he's also kind of xenophobic. He's Sir Billy is what it's called.
Oh God.
He's like, they'll let anybody into this country, and it's like, Sir Billy, no. And like the credits end with him like looking over a woman's grave as like rain comes down.
Oh God. Was it like a pro-Brexit movie or something?
No, it's not. I think because he has an animal friend in it.
Oh, okay.
And like most of the plot is like an animal's gonna die and he has to save him. It's a talking animal too.
Don't let anybody into this country. You know, if
Yeah,
we were,
that's exactly
if
the
we
line.
would separate
Was
from
he
the
a
EU.
Brexit guy?
I don't know. He lived in Spain.
I mean, he was so old, he didn't know what was going on.
He like left Scotland. He lived in Spain until his dying days.
Did he?
Yeah.
I mean, he lived in his Highlander country of origin, Spain.
Well, everyone always like
Right.
hated. He was always like mouthing off against Scotland and stuff, and all the Scottish people are like, what do you care? You've lived in Spain for the last 30 years.
Anyway, sorry. The opening April, Temple of Doom.
This is
Johnny
Temple
Depp.
of Doom. Mordecai is trying to sell this,
vase.
antique vase to this, I don't know,
Mob guy.
Chinese mob guy
And he's
named
like,
Fang.
you cheated me last time, so I'm gonna kill you, cut your fingers off.
Yeah.
And then here we get introduced to Paul Bettany's character,
Jock,
Jock,
which is kind
which
of like
I can't believe that there is a person named Jock.
Well, here's the thing, April. He's not real. He's a character.
Colin said he knows real people named Jock.
Jock is
Do
like
you?
it's a popular name in like Scotland. It's more of like a nickname, like, hey, Jock, whatever. I don't know.
Not Jacques.
No, it's Jock.
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 And he looks like he is supposed to be in a Snatch type movie, but he's not.
He's like this sort of Cockney, like blue collar British thug type. He's got like a scar on his eye.
Yeah.
Playing against type, Paul Bettany.
Absolutely playing against type. I'm not sure he quite pulls it off.
He does not pull it off. He's a little like. Yeah, he's a little poncy.
He has
Paul
two
Bettany.
jokes. The one joke is that he's always having sex with women. And I will say, I really, really did laugh at that scene on the airplane. But his other thing that I don't
poor
think...
woman, she should get a divorce or talk to her husband. Her new husband, she just had a baby and she's having sex with some men in airplanes.
That's really funny to me. I don't know why. She just couldn't resist Paul Bettany, he has like a scar on his eye. Like he looks like a...
She needs help. She should talk to someone.
He's even got like scars in the back of his head, like and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
So the other joke is that he is always getting hurt because of Mortdecai, and that is just I don't know. It's not funny. I didn't think it's slapstick.
I mean, that's a funny running gag, but you don't find that funny. We find the sexing funny.
Yeah, I guess so.
What if he kept catching STDs from sleeping with women?
That's
okay.
And
kind
every
of-
new scene he had like
That's
like warts
a different
or
sore.
pustules
That's like
on
a
his
joke
face.
out of a John Waters.
Well,
movie.
this movie, okay, and this kind of comes back to an issue I have with this movie is that just tonally, it's so bizarre. The whole movie is just so weird. So it's kind of like a lot of the jokes are just so childish and clearly for children. Like there's
No fart jokes though.
very
to my
shocking, much to your chagrin.
disappointment.
Yeah, that took it down a notch for you.
Yeah,
but there's
absolutely.
there's one joke where Ewan McGregor is in this, and he's my favorite thing. 'cause-
Poor Ewan McGregor.
come on.
What does he say when he's introduced?
Now this is really funny.
Why am I in this movie? Please, I need a better agent.
He turns around and you're like,
No, the person
It's Ewan
says.
McGregor.
The person says, "Who are you?" And he says, "You end your detectives, blah, blah, blah. But the way
You
he
and your
says it,
detectives.
she says, who are you? And he says, you and your detectives. Ewan.
He says his own
Ewan.
name.
He says his own name. I thought it was funny. I was like, wow, is the movie that clever? I don't think
Probably
so.
not.
That was probably
But
just
Ewan
a mistake.
McGregor looks amazing in this movie. And I think it's just in comparison to Johnny Depp, who looks
that
terrible.
scene where he drops trow and you're like, man, that cock is still huge.
He also is playing this very
Can you
posh
imagine if that
guy.
happened? You're like, there's a lot of tonal inconsistencies.
It's like, well-
that scene where like full penetration from Ewan McGregor.
Well, since we're all chewing up the furniture, I'm gonna get my cock out.
There is a lot of sex jokes in this, to the point where you're kind of like,
Well, that's what I was getting at. So like, it has all this childish humor, and then these really kind of crass jokes out of nowhere, like the whole Paul Bettany thing. This movie constantly reminding you that yes, he has sex, and like very long flashbacks, much too long.
That's from the book, apparently, that kind of humor.
I guess.
Those flashbacks suck. Like they keep cutting away to stuff.
But they're
and
so
it should be
long.
fun, like Hitler, fighting someone and it's like.
They really didn't need to be there.
They're so long.
But
And
I think they didn't want to just have people say
there's
it.
even a flashback where like Ewan McGregor, like in college, walks in on like Johnny
Oh,
Depp and
yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow like having sex, and it's like,
There's no joke there either.
I know.
He just walks in on them having sex.
yeah, but it's just like
They just wanted to give you some
Who is this
visual
movie for?
context.
Is what I'm saying. It's just like tonally, it's so at odds with itself. It's very strange.
Well, who do you think? The Johnny Depp fans went to the theater to see
I don't
this?
know who this movie is for.
They did not, if you look
No.
at its box office takings.
No, because the mustache looks stupid.
Well, it's just it appeals to nobody. It's like all
Kind
these
of.
like posh British people.
Wait, a movie came out in 2022 and its name was I, Mortdecai. Was it a sequel to Mortdecai?
No.
Well, let me read the synopsis.
It's
a
like-
Holocaust survivor born and raised in a different time must now face the realities of the modern world. Okay, so I
Probably
guess not.
I guess not. I thought it was like the I, Frankenstein version.
And it stars Judd Hirsch, Carol Kane, Sean Astin.
Oh my God.
So not a comedy.
Not a Mortdecai sequel. We're like Mortdecai. It's a Transcendence meets Mortdecai mashup where Mordecai's brain gets booted into a computer and he becomes I, Mortdecai.
Of Judd Hirsch.
Well, there are Nazis in this movie.
Judd Hirsch. Why do we build a robot to look like Judd Hirsch?
I'm Judd Hirsch.
Yeah.
Oscar nominated Judd Hirsch.
That's right.
Call me Mordecai. Did he get nominated this year?
Fablemans.
Yeah,
No
for
shit.
his like hammy one scene sequence in The Fableman.
Oh,
Where he's
hey,
like,
hey.
I'm a lion.
Don't spoil it for me.
Sorry.
One scene.
You'll love it.
We'll see.
God almighty.
Colin won't like it.
What? The Fablemans?
That's my prediction on The
All
Fableman.
right,
Okay.
We'll let
April
you
will
know.
like it. Colin, he'll be mid on it.
Okay.
Ugh, when am I 12 years old using the word mid?
Mid.
Ugh.
Who are you, Mordecai?
Yeah.
You wish you were as cool as Mordecai.
I'm Mortdecai, the evolution.
So yeah, Jock is Mordecai is like manservant, protector, butler. He's all these things.
Yeah.
So if shit goes wrong, there's a big action scene here.
Okay, you say big action scene.
Well, come on.
No.
I didn't say it with much
Small
enthusiasm.
action scene.
Yeah. It's like Jock's arms light on fire and he punches two guys and they're on fire too.
One thing that you'll hear a lot in this movie is Mordecai saying, Jacques!
I liked it every time someone went, Mortdecai. I'm like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Mordecai.
Johnny
That's the
Depp.
movie I'm watching.
I think his name's Charlie Mordecai.
I think it's Lord Mordecai. Lord
Every time he
Charles
showed up on
Mordecai.
screen, I was like Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at Mordecai. That's Mordecai.
You're like nudging Emily. That's
I'm Mordecai. I did not watch this with Emily. How cruel do you think I am?
In the trailer, did they have one of those scenes where they're all saying Mordecai?
Mordecai?
Yeah.
Mordecai?
Yeah.
Mordecai.
You know how those trailers?
Yeah.
It's always
I can picture it now in my head.
Mordecai.
The thing missing from this movie is Johnny Depp playing multiple roles, so the trailer could have been like
yeah,
Johnny
true.
Depp and Johnny Depp.
That is what this movie's missing, even though there is a stacked cast in this. Okay, so we got to get to the plot,
Okay,
which is
well,
Johnny Depp owns money to the government.
He's
Mortdecai.
He's pretty much broke. He lives lavishly with Gwyneth Paltrow, his wife, who I think everyone in this movie, Gwyneth Paltrow is doing a much better British accent than Mordecai.
And
Johnny
she ain't
Depp's
British.
accent is so terrible.
Well, he's doing like a character. It's not supposed to be like a real British
A
accent.
caricature.
April is like jumping in front of these bullets, Mordecai left and right.
saying.
They're just valid criticisms.
It's not supposed to be good. Yeah, you're right. It's a valid criticism, Colin.
His accent is terrible.
April is that like Apu like jumping in front of
Yeah.
like, James
No.
Wood.
Yeah.
Mordecai. Valid criticism of Mordecai. April.
He's playing a character. It's not supposed to be a good accent. It's terrible. It's all over the place. He is just hemming it up. Like, you know, it's just awful to watch. But nobody else is in the movie. Like, Ewan McGregor,
He's hamming it up a bit.
not really, but he's like hemming up he's accentuating like his poshness, like his British accent, but he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yes.
Gwyneth Paltrow even handles it very well.
Have you not heard her be British before?
No.
I have, and she could do good British accent.
Very good British
wasn't she
accent.
in that like Everlasting or something like
Well,
that?
she was in
Ever
she was
After?
in Shakespeare in Love.
What's the one with her on
And
the poster with a bow and arrow?
Oh, Emma.
Emma.
I saw that too, and then she did Sliding Doors, where she plays two versions of herself, and they're both British.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow and
Gwyneth Paltrow.
It really is.
I'm
you
seeing
guys.
double. Poor Gwyneth. Oh man, I haven't said that in a long time.
Yeah, this
Still works.
this needed more disguises. Like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Johnny,
love that.
if Johnny Depp like went for the Peter Sellers thing, and he was like,
Well, like Johnny Depp doesn't like his character doesn't really do anything in this movie.
he goes
There's
around.
one scene where he's knowledgeable about art, and that's it.
and that's it. Yeah,
You're
and I
right.
think
Yeah.
most of the movie is pretty much Gwyneth Paltrow like solving everything behind the scenes.
It's other people doing all the yeah, she's doing like the legwork, and
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor is also doing it because he's like the police investigating it.
But she's pulling the wool over his eyes and kind of manipulating him. So it turns out Ewan McGregor, it looks like they all went to college together at some point.
Yes.
So he's in love with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay, what are their age difference? Is Ewan McGregor close to Johnny Depp's age?
I think he's closer
Yeah.
to Gwyneth Paltrow. That's my guess.
I don't know.
Let's see when he was born. He's 1971.
So he's 51.
yeah.
Johnny Depp's got to be like, what, mid
Mid
50s?
maybe late 50s.
Yeah, he's 10 years older than Ewan McGregor.
So he's
1963.
61.
A little bit less.
Whoa.
Wow.
And
59
Gwyneth is
years old.
definitely younger.
Huh.
You think so?
Gwyneth? Yeah, I think she's closer
Yeah.
to, she's probably like 50.
I would say she's in her
Maybe
late
49.
40s.
What if she's like 80 and we just didn't know?
She looks good for 80.
She's exactly 50 years old.
Wow.
Wow. So yeah,
So
so
good
she
one,
is
April.
closer.
Good for
She's
her.
closer to Ewan's age.
Ewan's age. You and your men.
Yeah. So Ewan is trying to bang Pepper Potts.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like, well, maybe I will sleep with him. Maybe
She's-
I won't.
well, she's
to,
telling
to
him,
Johnny Depp.
I hate that mustache, Mordecai.
Yeah, this is the thing. Well, okay, see, first of all, after the first big action scene, we have one of many CGI transitions.
Now
yeah.
these look terrible.
This is-
New York. Well, they look like templates
Yeah.
that you
Well,
would get
I was
in
like,
After
this
Effects.
looks worse than a commercial, and this is a multi-million-dollar movie. So I was like,
$60 million movie.
I was like,
April?
are they bad on purpose?
I
Like, are
think
they
they're-
supposed to look like cartoony?
Okay, I'm
on
going to do the
purpose?
Apu thing and get in front of bad CGI. But I think they're just stylized and cartoonish. But it's like the, imagine the Indiana Jones kind of map shots.
Yeah.
Done in like 3D
I mean,
with like a
the
lot
writer of the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull would know what he's doing.
That's a good point.
There you go. And I feel like there's a dozen of them in this movie.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of whip pans and swish transitions.
And like slide transitions and,
and sound effects.
kind of Star Wars-esque, but not quite that crazy, but
yeah. A lot of kind of asides, like whip pens to like, flashbacks and asides.
a lot of voiceover narration. So this was what was happening here.
Yeah.
The test audiences demanded more Mordecai
More
to
narration.
explain what's
It did
happening
seem like
in the
it
movie.
was added
When he's
after
off
the fact.
screen, you're thinking, where's Mordecai?
Yeah, can we have
True.
jokes? Like Mordecai can say jokes when he's not on screen, just yelling it from the side.
So yeah, he gets back to Gwyneth Paltrow. She hates his mustache. Apparently, he just grew it. And the gag is that every time she kisses him, she gags.
It looks like a vagina.
Yeah, so that joke doesn't really ever get funny. It
She-
was kind of funny the last time
She
they did
gags,
it.
and then he has a sympathetic gag, so they both kind of gag.
If they started vomiting on each other, that takes it to the next level.
yeah, that would be
Well,
funny.
I seriously thought that he was growing this mustache for plot reasons. I thought maybe he was trying to
Well, like-
disguise himself or something,
No.
but no. The only
Do you
reason
think
is
Johnny
he just
Depp
wants
is
it.
jealous of Kenneth Branagh's success.
Yeah,
was the first Murder on the Orient. Because he has a big mustache.
We couldn't
He
stop
does.
thinking about that movie because it's similarly bad, but it's actually a more interesting mystery than what's in this.
It's
but it
so
also is
funny.
about a mustache.
Well,
the second one bombed really hard. The one that's all about his mustache. If you haven't seen it,
it has
that's
a
what the
plot
of that
point.
film
It's
is.
like the whole movie is about how
It's
he
about
got his mustache.
It's not the
And
whole movie, but it's a big part of the movie.
His mustache has a mustache. It's like a double mustache.
Yeah, and
hard
this
to
is
explain.
just not that. But I think the point is that this is a small, impotent mustache.
It's just like got a little dandyish twirl.
Yeah. It's waxed.
It's waxed at the tips, but
Kind
whatever.
of like Patch Adams. the
real
Patch Adams. Don't you guys remember
Sorry,
our last
You
episode?
patch heads have to remember. We're talking about the real Patch Adams.
So she hates the mustache. That's the running
The one
gag.
who looks like the stop motion animator.
Yeah.
Famous for claymation. I forget what his name is. William. I just watched a documentary
Will
about
Vinton.
him.
Will Vinton.
Will Vinton. There
you go.
Who's the real Patch Adams? Will Vinton or Patch Adams?
So yeah, and the first of many implications of, I don't know, Jock's like sexual
He's
prowess.
fucking the farmer's daughter.
Yeah, and like
Oh yeah, we get a flashback.
a
of,
very
like,
long flashback of Johnny Depp. Like it comes out of nowhere. Like, oh, another thing about Jock. Blah blah blah. He loves to fuck women, and it's like everyone should have a Jock.
How droll.
Hilarious.
That was April sipping her wine last night.
So we get a clip of like an art restorer, some lady who's like restoring a famous painting. She's murdered.
What was the name of the painter?
The
missing something.
Goyer.
Goyer. Yeah.
Which keeps sounding like
Obviously based off David Goyer.
David S. Goyer.
that's right.
Yes, it's Blade 3.
So this, I don't know, he's like a South American revolutionary. He steals the
The
painting.
guy who kind of looks like Benicio del Toro.
Kind of, yeah. And then he's knocked out. It's very kind
Well,
of
this
confusing.
guy is like, the whole movie is just him coming in and trying to get Mortdecai or the painting, and then being beat up or foiled in some way, and repeat.
Yeah.
It keeps happening.
Yeah, so now we're like introduced to Ewan McGregor. He's investigating the crime scene. He's like he works for MI5. And
He reveals that Mortdecai owes £8 million
I think
to
it
the
was
government
like 80 million.
I think it was 8.
Okay.
Tax evasion.
He and his assistants are like,
Sorry, I'm yawning because this plot is
I know. It's such a nothing plot, and it's just so uninteresting. But he's like, oh damn, we've got to call Mortdecai, because he's like,
We need Mortdecai.
we need Mortdecai, and that's what I was saying too. I'm like, more Mortdecai,
More Mortdecai. I can't get enough of Mortdecai.
Mortdecai. So now we
They
get
cut it to the bone to get as much Mortdecai in it as possible.
we
Yeah.
have like the stupidest scene. So he shows up at Mordecai's house or manor or whatever. And it's like such a long scene where he's trying to recruit Mortdecai, and Mortdecai like tricks him into drinking the bad port. He has like this shitty. Oh, it's hilarious.
And then he says, go get the special cheese.
Go get some cheese, and then Jock goes to get him the stinky cheese, which is like this whole
This is
scene.
like a-
It's like a joke
This
out
is
of
like
a kid's
joke.
movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like a
Yeah.
5-year-old's movie.
It's like a whole cupboard full of bad cheeses.
stinky cheese.
Yeah, and he's like holding his
like you
breath.
expect like I don't know, the polka dot green guy to like pop out and crack a joke.
You're just
too.
expecting
Pokeroo?
him to put like a
Pokeroo,
he's
there
one
you
step
go.
away from putting like a clothes peg like on his nose.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be funny.
Yeah, like
Let's be
that's
honest.
like legit,
But
like
it's so
a
stupid.
kids movie. gag.
Just
All right, Pokeroo is from Polka Dot Door. Hey, Colin would have watched that maybe 1971.
Pokeroo.
Oh,
of
we
course.
watched
Yeah.
We watched Polka Dot Door.
Grew up on Polka Dot Door.
That series lasted from 1971 to 1993.
Wow.
I thought it was
so
still
we
running.
just caught the early days of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, they don't last forever. These shows.
I mean, we didn't catch the early days. We caught the latter days of it.
No, I caught the early days when like
Polka
Pokeroo
dot,
just looked really
polka
creepy.
dot.
Polka Dot Door.
Dun,
Yeah, when it was
dun,
like the Sid and Marty
dun,
Krofft
dun,
like
dun,
nightmare
dun,
fuel.
dun,
And Marigold
dun, dun,
too.
dun, dun.
Humpty,
So much more.
Dumpty, and Pokeroo.
Dun, 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 dun,
Everyone listening
dun.
has no
The
idea what
Polka
we're
Dot
talking
Door.
about. I'm pretty sure it was
I
Canadian.
mean, it's that. I guess they're like Polka Dot door. Get out of here. We got to make room for the big comfy couch.
Yeah, well, that was Canadian too, but
I never saw the big comfy couch.
That aired.
No, that was before
aired
or
in the
after your
States.
time.
Okay, so Mortdecai.
And now we have a scene where Depp is trying to like woo Gwyneth Paltrow at home because she's had him like move into the guest bedroom because she doesn't want to be near him because of his mustache.
Yeah.
Mordecai's main trait in this movie is he wants to have sex with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, you're right.
This scene goes on for so long, so long, and then he goes to like Jock's little house that he lives in
cabin.
on the property. He's like boning away. Some like hot girl comes out and like, Jock, you coming to bed? And he's like, whoa, Jock.
I think you'd be used to it by this point.
Yeah, and we're 30 minutes into the movie at this point, and like nothing has happened at all.
Yeah, we have the beginning of our plot, but we don't really know how. Like, how does he end up at the car place? Is he just renting a car?
Oh, that's later. He's selling a car, so he's
not
broke.
that far later.
He's broke, so he's selling his Rolls Royce to who we later learn is Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
In the States. So the Italian guy is like his.
What was his name? Palazzo or something?
Spinoza.
I was close.
Yeah. So now we have a scene. It's like Ewan and Gwyneth meet for like a Chardonnay at some wine thing, and you can tell she's like leading him along.
Yeah, and she goes, "Oh, aren't you on duty?" And he goes, "Yes, I'm on duty and in charge."
So he can have a wine.
He's so dandy, and yet he's attractive. But she doesn't. She doesn't
Are you
give him an
saying
inch.
this from your opinion, April, that he's dandy and attractive?
Yes, Ewan McGregor.
Who, Johnny
no,
Depp?
Ewan
Ewan
McGregor.
McGregor.
Oh, Ewan McGregor. Okay.
No, he's got that posh accent that he's using the entire movie.
As I said, Johnny Depp
He's
is
spoken
unattractive.
for. He's married to Mary Elizabeth Winston now.
Is he really?
Who is that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ramona from Scott Pilgrim.
Oh no, she's way too young for him.
Really?
Yeah, they're
I
married.
didn't know they were married. Wow.
I think they are. Are they dating? Mary Elizabeth Winston.
Well, it's none of my business.
He's taken, April. He's taken.
They've been married since 2022.
Wow.
So for less than a year.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime in Hollywood.
Well, she had been married to Riley Stearns. I'm not familiar who that is, for 7 years.
He was married to some like French actress or something like that for years.
Vanessa Paradis. What? That's Johnny Depp's.
No.
Jesus.
Well, Johnny Depp was married to some French girl. Anyway, enough about their dating lives.
Okay, we need to.
Yeah, we got to get back to the brass tacks. Just the information.
Let's
no
just
laughs.
talk about the interesting.
The
scenes.
only point is that Gwyneth Paltrow in this scene, it's revealed that she is working behind the scene to pretty much solve the case and discover.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about the interesting scene. So the credits roll at the end. The end.
So what is even the plot? They're all after this stupid painting because Herman Goring, before he was captured, not Goyer, Herman Goring. The Nazi war criminal.
Oh, right.
The painter is Goyer.
Okay.
Found this painting and wrote what was it, like the code for his Swiss bank accounts or something
on the back.
So everybody's after Herman Goring's like fortune. Blah blah blah.
Is that a famous Nazi?
Yeah, Herman Goring.
Oh, I don't know.
He's one of the big ones.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, he's
one of the big
top
ones.
5.
Don't you have your trading card set, April?
No.
Go through it.
All right, so you got Hitler,
You got
Goebbels.
You got Goebbels. You got
Goebbels.
Herman Goring. You got Heinrich
You got
Himmler.
Max Savage.
Who's the guy who did the experiments?
Oh Jesus, that was like
Oh.
Joseph
Mengele.
Mengele.
Mengele. There
Well,
you
I'm
go.
already at 4 there.
Yeah, that's your whole set.
That's like your top 5. Yeah.
Top 5 Nazis.
Yeah, so he goes to visit Spinoza. Mortdecai's broke. He's selling his Rolls Royce, but getting a really stupid action scene here.
We get into a gunfight.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know how to drive a car. And then
I'm laughing. It's so funny.
And then like Jock is like, get out of here, just run away. And so he daintily runs away. So like
Jack
every
Sparrow.
scene's like Jock does all the dirty work of the action.
but
That's the
scene.
joke.
Johnny Depp does grab the gun and he shoots off screen, and then Jock immediately walks in frame. Like he just shot Jock from
shot
like
him.
2 feet away.
Yeah.
And he says, by the way, this isn't the first time I shot Jock. And
Oh,
then
no.
we get a big long flashback to like their like game hunting or
It
something.
wasn't long, it's short, but
felt
the
long.
scene
It
where
does.
he like turns around and shoots with a big like musket and like Jock like flies out of frame. It reminded me of like Fateful Findings where he gets hit by the car. That's what it looked like. So, $60 million movie, not better VFX than Neil Breen.
No. And so Goop meets this Duke. You have no reason why anything is happening.
Goop meets a
like
Duke.
Goop? Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yes. She meets this old British soldier or something like that, and it's Colonel Vogel from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I at first thought it was Belloc, and then April looked it up, and it was like, oh, it's.
I don't remember
Colonel
that
Vogel.
particular character because I only saw that movie twice, but cool.
Yeah, and then Mortdecai is like captured by Russian criminals. We have a very, very long scene.
Yeah,
in
the
Russia.
scene where he goes to Russia and then he's like, "We're gonna shock your balls." It just was like it didn't have really anything more to it than that.
There
it was
is
just like
no point to the
repeating
scene.
it over and over.
Then we have another boring car chase, which is like nothing happens.
That's a motorcycle chase.
Oh yeah, right.
And Jock is driving and Johnny Depp's in the sidecar. Hilarious. And it's all set to this like 60s like rock. So, it's supposed to evoke the feeling of like a spy movie, but it's more just like Johnny Depp is just like falling into these scenes and he doesn't know what's going on. And there's so there's a Russian guy that wants the painting, and then also there's this Benicio del Toro guy who wants the painting
to fund his revolution or whatever like that. I don't know, whatever. This whole scene in Russia is just so pointless. And so they Ewan McGregor like sends Mortdecai to LA with his Rolls Royce.
Are you still there, Justin? You
I'm still here. Sorry.
Okay.
You're just snoring. Sorry, it's the plot to this movie.
The LA scene is at least kind of interesting.
I just like my body just like levitated above me in its astral form, watching Hudson Hawk in the past. Being like, this is fun.
So Mortdecai goes.
I would just love to be everyone on set on this movie. Like, are they just phoning it in, like not caring? Like,
I
who
wasn't
cares
getting the
about this?
feeling that anyone was phoning it in. I felt like everyone was committed.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Olivia Munn, but she maybe is just not as good of an actress.
Remember Olivia Munn?
Yeah, whatever happened? She was in The Predator, and that's the last I saw of her.
Well, she outed the Predator in Predator.
Yeah, but do you think she got like blacklisted because of that? Like I
don't think so.
The thing is, I think that she was getting. She had a moment. She was in that X-Men movie.
A very small moment, though.
I think she got jobs because she's gorgeous, and she is.
She was famous on G4, right? I never watched that.
She was a TV host. Yeah,
it was like a video game show.
Yeah, so I think she got roles because she was so pretty, and she can play that. But I'm not really feeling any acting
she's
chops.
Not a
unfortunately,
good, she's not
I feel
a good
bad.
actress.
But so I feel like she was okay in that Predator movie.
Yeah, she was all right.
Yeah,
she
was
kind of
fine.
got her chance, and then I'm guessing maybe she just doesn't either. She just can't get roles anymore. I don't know. Maybe I should look her up. Maybe she's been in like a million TV shows or something.
It's quite possible. Well, this scene in LA.
She was in 25 episodes of The Newsroom from 2012 to 2014.
Isn't that the
remember that
Soderbergh?
the Aaron Sorkin, Jeff Daniels show?
No,
yeah, I never saw that, but
never saw it.
It's bad, real bad.
The Newsroom.
Anyway, Mortdecai, he's in LA. Wow, LA is so wacky, guys.
I don't know. I kind of was amused by his antics.
My only joke that I liked, and it will be the thing that I liked in this movie. Waiting for the elevator, Mortdecai touches a cactus and goes, "Ow!" And I chuckled.
That was your joke? I thought it was all the. I thought it was the hipsters going into the elevator.
Nope, that was my joke. He touches a cactus and goes, "Ow!"
Yeah,
wow, that's a pretty low bar.
There's the gag. But like the elevator is like it's all lined with like fur on the inside of it and stuff. And all these hipsters start piling in the elevator, and Mordecai's admiring all their facial hair because they have like wax.
But he doesn't even have a line. He just like smiles.
It's like hilarious. And then
I don't believe you.
And then his hotel, his room is so loud because you can hear Jock having sex in the next room because Jock has
Jock
sex.
fucks.
Yeah,
Jock fucks.
It's been established. So he goes to this manor, and Olivia Munn is like, "I like sex," basically.
Yeah,
and they're calling her a nympho constantly.
Yeah, she's Jeff Goldblum's nympho daughter. Yeah, and she
not a lot of Jeff Goldblum in this movie.
Yeah,
kind of blink and you miss him.
His intro is. I laughed so hard because I don't know. He's just such a funny guy in general. But he's talking to like Olivia Munn, Mortdecai, And then from off screen, he's like, Charles Mortdecai, you son of a bitch. It's like, oh, it's Jeff Goldblum. I think he has like 5 lines, and then he's dead.
Yeah. So he pulls the painting out of the Rolls Royce. It was in the roof the whole time.
Yeah, the Italian mechanic smuggled it.
Intriguing.
Sure. I'm having a party, Mortdecai.
We were hooting and hollering when that reveal happened. We're like, Mortdecai, you got one over us again.
Okay, so then there's a party at night, and
everybody shows up to this party.
Yeah, the assassin pours poison or whatever on the food.
Something.
Why did he do that?
I think it was to cause a distraction so he could steal the painting.
Okay.
So Jeff Goldblum's going to be revealing the painting at this party, but everybody is after it. So like Gwyneth Paltrow shows up, Paul Bettany's like trying to steal it.
McGregor's there.
Yeah, he kind of pours this like, I don't know, ipecac or something, but they have multiple shots of people like eating the shellfish and going, like reacting to it. It tastes weird.
And then later, people are throwing up.
Everybody's vomiting.
And it's like, remember that scene in Hubie Halloween at the beginning? That's what it looks like. It's
Yeah.
just like really, really fake CGI vomit.
It's like projectile vomiting. I don't know. It's pretty...
Now that's a movie that made me laugh. Hubie Halloween.
So anyway, Jeff Goldblum is killed. It turns out the South American guy is working with Olivia Munn.
Did you pick your favorite thing, April?
I didn't, but and maybe it's the gag on the airplane. I don't know.
I know it's tough.
That is what I laughed.
When you like so much.
That's what I laughed the most.
That's
at.
the one that she laughed
Just
the
so
hardest
people
at.
know, the gag is there's people having sex in the bathroom, and then Jock gets out and this young woman, and she buttons up her shirt, and then she goes and sits down, and she takes her infant from her husband,
and she goes, "Sorry, there was a cue."
Yeah, that made me laugh a lot.
That poor woman.
She's just getting it.
Yeah,
you know.
Hey, it's Paul Bettany. Come on.
How could she resist?
Yeah, how could you say no?
He's a
Paul Big Dong Bettany.
He's a vision.
Well, he is Vision. Yeah, beat me to it.
Everyone vomiting. There's another boring car chase that goes on forever.
Yeah, the car chases definitely leave a lot to be desired.
And then the South American guy and Olivia Munn get back to this motel, so they want to I don't know.
They think there's invisible ink, blah, 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 painting. Anyway, the room blows up in a fiery wreckage, and there's a really bad effect
CGI
shot
explosion
of things busting out of the window, and it fades out before it can settle.
Yeah,
so I was like, oh God.
Really bad CGI explosion. And then you're like, okay, well, the movie has to be over, right? The painting.
It's not over yet.
There is 30 goddamn minutes to go.
Not only do we have an auction house, we have a sword fight.
This is when I yelled in the theater we saw it, on to Act 6! And got a few laughs. And they keep taking airplanes too, which makes time feel longer.
Yeah,
because you're in this transitional point of them having to travel.
It's always
ugh.
yeah, and then they fly to the name of the city. Yeah.
Is Austin Powers here?
Yeah. So basically, it's this South American assassin versus Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
Mortdecai.
And again, everybody is at this auction. All the characters in the movie
Everything
are there.
we've been.
You see, this is an added climax. They shot the first version. It's too short, and we need, that extra punch.
We need
Let's
more
get them
Mortdecai.
together again.
Well, this is literally like the scene at the beginning of Pirates of the Caribbean where he has a sword fight with.
Don't remind me of more fun stuff.
It's not that bad. It's okay. He a box falls on him, but it's like a Buster Keaton gag.
Yeah,
he just doesn't move, and then it just breaks around him.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Anyway,
It's okay.
so they auction off the painting to one of the.
It's a little airborne. It's okay. It's okay.
The evil Russian guy buys the painting for 80 million or something like that. So, yay, Johnny Depp, he's got cash now. And then the government.
But, oh no!
Ewan McGregor's like, oh, it's been confiscated by the government. He's talking like Obi-Wan Kenobi now for some reason. He's like, we've taken your money.
I wish.
He lets them go, and
our interests align.
And he's like, we're broke, but at least I don't owe taxes. Womp womp. And then
so she never fucked Ewan McGregor. He never slept with Olivia Munn. They were faithful to each other.
I guess.
They were just playing around.
Yeah.
That was their sexual game as British married people.
Whatever.
Isn't it intriguing?
Sorry, there was a cue. So
we didn't sleep together.
So it ends up, it was a fake painting that Johnny Depp sold at the auction. They've got the real Goyer in their bathroom. They're taking a bath.
Wait, so they're not even going to sell it?
No,
I guess they can't, right?
Well, they said do you think the codes are there? And he's like, oh yes, probably. But he said he sent them anonymously to Ewan McGregor.
Oh,
so
okay.
the
So
government
Ewan
can get the
McGregor
cash.
can take the Swiss bank account money.
Yeah, or for the government or whatever. So yeah, and then it ends with Gwyneth Paltrow like, I can finally shave your mustache.
And then he goes, blah, blah, blah. I would shave it because I care about you more. And she's like, that's all I needed to hear. And she kisses him, and then she gags again. And it ends.
And then bloops, and they rap over the end credits.
It should have ended
I wanted bloopers.
I want a blooper reel. I want
a stinger scene.
I want an outtake. I want a stinger.
Like Mordecai's twin comes and he doesn't have a mustache. He's played by Johnny Depp.
Yeah, and it's like, ooh, he'll return. And Mordecai will return in
Mordecai's last flight or something like that.
I feel like Johnny Depp can't play this character without a mustache.
Yeah,
he can't get into character.
It'd be like more Mordecai. Yeah, there are kind of like flashbacks where he doesn't have the mustache, and it's very odd.
Maybe like more American Graffiti, but more Mordecai.
So will it be like American Graffiti, where it's like an anthology film about 5 characters and all in a different style?
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if
this movie had enough characters.
It'll be like that Anchorman 1.5. It'll just be like all the cut scenes that.
It's a whole other Mordecai movie.
It's a whole other movie.
It was made during the making of
Yeah,
Mordecai.
it's just all these.
Whoa, Johnny Depp has an upcoming movie. Oh, I'm disappointed. Called Johnny Puff's Secret Mission. And it looks like an animated film.
About a dragon?
No, it looks like a bird that knows martial arts, and his name is Johnny Puff. It feels like a Chinese film they probably imported and redubbed with Johnny Depp.
Johnny Puff.
Johnny Puff. Oh my God.
Well, that's Mordecai.
That's Mordecai, everybody. You know what? I have to say, I didn't hate it.
You demanded it. We delivered it.
I think if you're in the right mood, maybe if you've been having drinks, or maybe if you're hungover and you're tired and just want something amusing. And hey, if it's annoying, just turn it off. But I for whatever reason vibed with this movie.
I think it was the 2 bottles of wine that we'd had last night.
Wow.
Anyone listening to this has no reason to watch Mortdecai. Like, just don't watch it. There's no reason to watch it.
Gets a recommendation from April.
Oh my God, April, no.
It wasn't that bad.
Hey, if you're gonna watch Avatar: The Last Airbender or Mordecai, give Mordecai a spin. That's worth it.
If we're talking about the movie, then yes.
What about Ford
coming soon?
What about Ford v Ferrari?
Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah, what if we do Ford v Ferrari for this podcast?
I think I'd rather watch Mordecai.
What about Mord v Ferrari?
Oh, it's Mordecai versus Ferrari?
Mordecai's in the Ferrari. And he's
we're going to start doing edits where like Mordecai's in the movies.
What would be the trailer for Mordecai 2? Is it more?
Would it have Mortdecai?
Yeah, that's what it is. More Mordecai?
You asked, we answered.
David Kemp is like waiting by the phone so the call can come through so he can make it.
Yes, it just rings and he picks it up. I will do Mordecai too. This is Steven. He apparently wrote the original draft of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. The one.
He did?
It just said he's credited. I know James Mangold rewrote it, but it just said he's credited as like initial story or something. He
wrote
like that.
a draft maybe, but who knows like how it probably.
Do you think that Indiana Jones will try? Yeah, in the David Kemp version, he kept going and like meeting Mordecai when he went back in time.
Oh, that's so
forward
great.
in time.
Well, he
I'm going to need some help from my good friend Mordecai.
Sala, I have to get the mustache.
When does that movie come out? The Dial of Destiny.
I would say like summer this year.
It's a terrible title.
It is a bad title.
That's like the Pick of Destiny, and it also makes me think of Dial Soap.
Yeah.
My favorite Indiana Jones fake title. Somebody asked Harrison Ford, and he was like, yeah, it's the Heart of Atlantis.
Oh, yeah.
And this was many years ago. And not the video game that has a similar title, but like someone said that it looked like Harrison Ford was like looking around the room and just gets like, Heart of and
he's pulling like a Kaiser Sose.
Isn't that already a movie? Hearts in Atlantis?
Yes, there is. It's a Stephen King adaptation.
Yeah,
Anthony Hopkins.
I saw that movie. It was okay.
I think Fate of Atlantis is the video game.
Fate of Atlantis is a video game. I hope Antonio Banderas doesn't get killed at the beginning of the Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, I like Antonio. He should stick around.
You know, he's always taken out by like 30 minutes in.
When everybody, when Crystal Skull came out, and then everybody was like, "Oh man, there was like a Frank Darabont script going around that they dumped." It was like, I don't know, Attack of the Saucermen or some shit.
Wait, go to Area 51.
But everybody was talking about, that was like, everybody talks about these lost scripts like they're
like
so amazing.
But aren't they like it's bad?
People will never read it, so I can really talk about how amazing it was, but you guys will never read it. And everyone's like, "Oh, they should have gone with that one." It finally leaked. I think Frank Darabont leaked it. It was so fucking terrible. Like, it was way worse than Crystal Skull.
I can't imagine his, type of movie working with the Indiana Jones.
No, but he's like a pulpy guy. Like, he likes that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I still don't think it would match.
Did not feel like like an Indiana Jones movie at all. It was like giant ants and like flying saucers.
Come on.
I like that.
So terrible.
And then everybody. Crystal Skull's pretty goddamn bad.
Oh yeah, but then everybody like backtracked. Well, I remember it being better.
All right. Well, Mortdecai, which came out in 2015, by the way, is available to rent on iTunes.
It is a delight. A delightful way.
You heard it here.
Have 2 bottles of wine.
You heard it here, folks.
Have 2 bottles of wine. 2 bottles of wine
that's
between
not
both
true.
of you?
That was like throughout the whole night. Like at that point, like we had only had one. When we were,
watch Mortdecai. Forget watching Mortdecai. Watch it the next day before recording the podcast for a second time.
Not sure it was as good the second time.
It was not because it felt like work.
But I mean, to be fair though, we watched all of these movies usually like over dinner. So whatever we had, if we had something really good for
but Colin
dinner,
was
it
saying,
might affect the movie.
This is going to change now, so you don't have to watch these movies twice.
I think we should watch these movies the day of.
The morning of?
Yeah. I think that's a smarter decision. You remember it. You don't have to watch it twice.
I guess.
You can do the notes in real time,
It's fine with me.
That's how I do it.
So,
smart
yes,
man.
this movie is available to rent. If you want to, check it out.
Hey, it's $4.99 on iTunes.
If you want to if you want to email the podcast, we're at no such thing as a bad movie at gmail.com. And we're on Twitter at no such thing pod. We're also on YouTube if you want to listen to episodes there, just at no such thing as a bad movie. And if you want to support us on Patreon, patreon.com/no such thing as a bad movie. And if you're on the $5 level, you'll get access to over 100 mini episodes, and we release them every 2 weeks. And the latest episode is on Blumhouse's new hit, Megan. You know her, you love her. She's dancing and stealing our hearts. And if you want to find me, I'm on.
Is this episode brought to you by Megan? What's going on?
If you want to find me, I'm
on streaming now.
Twitter and Instagram at April Atmansky.
You can find me on Twitter at DeClux, DECLOUX, the letter J, on Letterboxd, Justin DeClux, same spelling of my last name, and every week on the Important Cinema Club. And if you want to know what new movies are coming out, check me out on the Bay Street Video Podcast every week, where me and Mark Hansen, the product manager of a brick-and-mortar video store, talk about all the notable Blu-rays and DVDs. There are going to be movies you have never heard of coming out every week. I am always amazed.
What is this,
Wow.
you shill?
I mean, people don't know about this show, so that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, maybe I should start listening to it.
You can find me on Twitter, Sergeant Zima, SGTZIMA.
And that's it for this week. I'm going to sign off today by saying stay warm because it's minus 20 degrees Celsius in Toronto right now.
Freezing.
And it's the coldest it's been all
You know
year.
what would keep your face warm? A
What?
big old mustache.
Oh, a mustache. Yeah. So maybe grow a winter mustache.
Yeah,
if
we're
you
all
can.
going to grow winter mustaches.
It'll keep your face warm. That's it. I'm April Atmansky.
That's it. I'm Justin DeClux.
I'm out of here. I'm Colin Cunningham.
And remember, there's no such thing as a bad movie.
Mordecai.
More like Mortdecai.
Mordecai.
More like less Decai.
Let's.
That's a cracked parody version of the movie.